shit. No, not the tinfoil. Okay. Alright, give me just a moment. I'm still setting up stream. Still setting shit up. Give me a minute. Is anyone even in chat right now? Okay, connected to chat. Can't see any of y'all right now. Alright, give me just a moment, y'all. I'm still kind of setting up stream, putting out notifications and whatnot. Need to paste that. Okay. There we go, and then I can just play my music, if it'll let me. Alright. There we go. Alright, so. I have been mulling over this idea for maybe 3 hours, so you can tell that, like, not much of my brain power has gone into this. Also, I'm listening to music on my iPad, which is kind of like my second monitor. I realize now I should probably actually move my camera up, that way you can see the motions of my hands and whatnot. This is a really jank setup that I'm using, by the way. It's like a tripod with flexible legs that I have wrapped around an easel. So, shit's probably gonna be weird angled the whole time. Oh yeah, no, it's such a weird angle, but unfortunately I don't really have much of a choice. Because, like, my legs, like, hold on, I'm working on readjusting the camera. I really should have done this before stream, but, like, I mean, there's a way that I could possibly do it, question mark? Like, that involves, like, sitting really far back. Whoop, shit. I'm trying to make sure I don't get my face in the camera. It involves sitting really far back, putting one of the camera legs, like, between my legs, right? Actually, that might possibly work. And then I just gotta not get it like fucked up. There we go. Alright, I think I've gotten it. Alright, there we go. It's gonna be a bit annoying to paint around, but it's okay. I got it. Yeah, so this is... I realize now the camera is pointing in the wrong fucking direction. It needs to be more on my desk, really. There we go. Yeah, you can see my leg. I need to walk just over a little bit, actually. That leg is too long. Or is it not long enough? I can't tell. I'm sorry again, I'm just trying to figure out the camera so I can use it without it getting in the way. There we go. I can do that. There we go. Alright. I'm right-handed, so this is going to be a little bit of an awkward squeeze at points. There we go. Alright. That way you guys should be able to see more of my workstation. Hopefully I can get it so it's not gonna... Okay, that leg is as long as it'll go. Alright, there we go. Alright, that's a better angle. That way I can put my arm here. Alright. So, as I was saying before I decided to rejig my entire setup, I have been mulling over this idea for about 2 hours now. I realized that my mic's probably not the best because I didn't take off my phone case. You know, find an empty page in here. That's the page with Army on it, which I realize that by covering up the camera there, that doesn't really help. You're gonna hear a lot of shuffling around as I try to figure shit out. There we go. There we go. Alright. I also have this ink pen, which is what I used in order to actually get the pose drafts for the Thermi drawing down. I realized that it wasn't even in frame. So these were kind of, like, okay, that one's for a Gorgon sculpture that I'm working on. But these three right here, it kind of went like that. And then eventually I figured out the pose that I wanted. And then I kind of copied it from here to here. I'm going to do the same, because I still have the other side of this. And I have a couple of sheets of paper somewhere in here that I'll possibly need to use. But this is the part that's going to be difficult, because I need to design at least 2 frames. I need to design the Norton, but the problem with the Norton is that it's a massive shitpost, and it might be getting a rework soon. Right now, it's not as focused on historical figure as I'd like. It's more focused on the antivirus of the same name. The naming scheme for SIS's mechs is historical figures who are significant in computing and code breaking, as well as ciphers as well. So, yeah. Plus, the AI part of Systech AI is its kind of weird CompCon NHP hybrids. Wogue! Howdy, y'all! Hello! Yeah. The naming scheme for the CAVI is different forms of metal or durable materials. I realize that the Galvorn doesn't really fit in, and neither does the Thaumium. The Thaumium has a funny story, actually. The Thaumium is not based on a real metal. It is... Wogue. The Thaumium is actually based on a metal of the same name from a Minecraft mod called Thaumcraft. And for some reason my brain was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. Which means I might have to end up renaming it. Maybe something like Adamantium or something. Input Wogue, output Wogue, indeed. I also have music playing in my earbuds. I say earbuds, it's really a headset. So, Can y'all actually hear me? Like, am I muted? No, I was not muted. Okay. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, good. Good. I don't sound like shit, right? I know that I'm using my phone's built-in speaker. Okay, audio is good. That's good. Right now I'm just kind of testing the brush right now. I know that one element that I want for the Norton is for it to be a physical piece of shit. Like, this thing is... Okay, for the current version of the Norton, because again, I said there's going to be a rework of it eventually, hopefully, maybe, possibly, if I get around to it, because it's far too much of a shitpost. The Caesar actually has a little bit of effort put into it. Like, both the mech itself and its CAVI have, like, double-headed puns. Like, the AI inside of it is the Mercury class CAVI. And I chose that name not only because it's the name of a metal, but it's the name of a Roman god. And the Caesar is named after a Roman leader, and the cipher. And it's supposed to be like the head of the charge. So, leader. It is also the name. Do not drink mercury! Do not drink mercury! Okay, I have to say this, okay? As an individual who has, in their friend group, have the reputation of drinking paint, do not drink mercury, okay? Also, the paint was one time, and it was for a bit. It was like... Hold on, I need a metric. It was like... maybe 5 milliliters of paint. Like, it wasn't that much. Like, it was watercolor paint, too, so it was perfectly fine and safe. Alright. Anyways... I suggest against drinking paint. A little paint as a treat, yes. Also, if you happen to see me just randomly stimming like this with the brush and just wiggling between my fingers, this is just, it's just kind of like a passive thing my brain does. That does not sound safe. It was perfectly fine, alright? It was mostly these watercolors, right? Mostly these. A little bit of these. So, does it say anything about being non-toxic? No. Shit. That's fine. Yeah, it's perfectly safe. I don't see any danger markings on it. The main elements that I want for the Caesar is it for to kind of carry... I kind of want more Armored Core style mechs for SAS. Tired at this moment. Hello, Elve. Two kinds... Oh, no. You fail to understand. It's not two kinds of paint. Alright? I have a lot of watercolor shit. I have two I dropped one of my sculptures. I have this palette. It's not really a palette. It's a bunch of watercolor markers, right? And then I have an entire box full of watercolor pencils. What the fuck is this guy's face? Oh, I forgot that he's like that, not like that. Sorry, I dropped one of my little robot sculptures, and I completely forgot how he's supposed to be oriented, so I had to fix him. I know, but... Yeah, Armored Core mentioned. Those are two guys, yes. Okay, the reason why I said I drank it is because it was specifically the water that I used to wash off the brush. Make an ox knife build and call it the Brutus. Do it. Do it. I can't remember what fucking mounts I put on the Caesar, but it doesn't have many. I want to see what kind of bullshit people get up to with my mechs. Also, more watercolor stuff. These are watercolor pencils. The nightmare shot. It was green. It tasted green. I can't keep making builds for fun. I need to make actual character builds. Why can't you do both? Why can't you do both? Why can't you make a funny, dumb meme build and give it to a completely serious character? Or vice versa. Like... Where the fuck did I put my eraser? Oh no, don't tell me it's in the Hell Carousel. It's in the Hell Carousel. God damn it. The Hell Carousel... Actually, no, I'm not going to explain it, because it's funnier if I don't explain it. That is my water-based pen. That's going to bleed. Need my good pens. And I need my white pen. I have it in my hand. Why am I looking for it? Time is a limited resource. Yeah, well, so is stress and heat, so... Put some Gilgamesh levels in there. Get more from your limiteds. But yeah, making the lower level characters I'm working on deliberately unoptimized because they're less skilled pilots. That makes sense. Yeah. Also, to finish up the talk of the paints, these are my gouache paints, or gouache paint, opaque watercolor. I got these from like a corner $5 store, and they surprisingly work. Also, ignore the fact that there are 2 tubs of black paint. I don't understand why. And I've looked at them both, and they both turn out the exact same color. So, I think... Have I not opened this one? What the fuck? I could have sworn I opened it. No, I did, because there's a Huh? Oh, no, it's right here. Oh, I'm dumb. Still, like... I don't know why there's 2 of them. I really would have appreciated, like... a darker yellow. Because this light yellow is, like... lemon-ish. I don't know. It's like lemon sherbet. No, it's also dark yellow. And then you got like this weird yellowish green. Yeah, like a lot of these I use very sparingly because they're opaque watercolors. You don't need a lot in order to get a lot of color on the board. Let's see. Also, to the regulars, I'm sorry I haven't been streaming a lot lately, and that trend is probably going to continue. Unfortunately, by the end of the year, I'm likely going to be in a new house, because the one that I'm currently in is falling apart. I don't have a times table on any changes or anything like that. It's just gonna go fuck it, we ball, honestly. Which is a policy that has got me through life this far, so why not keep going with it? I'm just fucking around with a pen right now. I need my pencil. Where did I put that fucker? It's in the Hell Carousel somewhere. The Hell Carousel is what I'm now calling my, carousel full of brushes and shit. Yeah. Where am I in frame? You know what, I'm good enough. The one design that I had for the Norton so far was basically... like, it had the pointy chest plate. But I don't really know if I want to keep it like this. I think I want to give, like, this kind of vibe to the Caesar. Like, I realize I didn't even have my hand. I think I want to keep this kind of pointed vibe to the Caesar, and have the Norton be a little bit more blocky. Let me scoot that down for you guys to actually properly see it. Also, I am going to have to end up scrapping the Norton's meme weapon. I'm going to keep the standard issue auto rifle. But I am unfortunately going to have to rename its melee weapon. I'm going to keep the whole shtick of it heals what you hit to play on Norton's ability to hit itself. But... because, like, rules as written, normally in Lancer, you cannot hit yourself with your attacks. The Norton says fuck that and allows you to spend lock-on to hit yourself. Like, you can apply lock-on to yourself in order to hit yourself. And if an enemy has lock-on on you, you can use their charge of lock-on to hit you. Well, I don't know how balanced that is, and I might have to remove that feature, but for now it's funny. Hold on, I need to push my glasses up. Have to think about this. Oh boy, indeed. The Caesar, its whole thing is the turnabout system. Or at least the Frame's whole thing is its turnabout system. I have a fucking document pulled up about this stuff. Why do I not have this alongside my viewer stream? Need to see chat. There we go. Okay, so very funny interactions in the Morning Cloak singularity mode. Yeah, punch yourself in the face, teleport. It's a core system, though, so, like, it's part of the frame itself that you can target yourself. So, you'd need to rely on systems and weapons versus a frame's innate traits. Hold on a minute. I have an entire page full of this shit. Yeah, artillery support frame. SIS's first attempt at a combat-grade mechanized chassis, the Norton is visibly improvable. The singularity motivator is from the corning. Oh, okay, interesting. I'll have to think about that. It's visibly improvable. Its armored plating isn't the most aerodynamic, so again, I'm gonna have to get rid of these points. Nor is it the most durable. Its mechanical internals are dated and sluggish. Its stock manipulators lack the dexterity of modern chassis. But what the Norton lacks in flair, it makes up for in firepower. SIS's comfort zone is software, after all. It boasts a wide variety of finely tuned sensors and signal amplifiers, each calibrated to project the frame's signature simulant failure logic suite. All of this in tandem makes the Norton functionally a walking malware bomb. And despite its physical shortcomings, the frame has earned a place in the hearts of tech attack enthusiasts. It receives a +1 difficulty on hull checks and saves. When scanned, it reveals no information pertaining to its e-defense, sensors, save target, or tech attack values. And one of its abilities, insert text here. I know that sounds like a placeholder. I left it because it's funny. If an enemy deals heat damage to the Norton via a tech attack, that enemy receives that heat damage as well. The simulant failure logic suite is its core power. The Norton's novel integrated CAVI prevents enemies from properly targeting it via tech attacks. The technology used to produce this effect is a closely guarded company secret. Active, task queue override. For the rest of the scene, lock-on has no effect against the Norton. It can still bear the effect, but enemies do not gain benefits from consuming it. Note that it's phrased as enemies. The Norton can still use its own lock-on to gain benefits towards hitting itself. While this effect is active, enemies cannot benefit from lock-on against allied characters if the Norton also bears the lock-on status. So, if you have a dude over here, and the enemy is trying to use lock-on against them, it instead has to handle the lock-on on the Norton first. But that lock-on's going to do fuck all. So there's no real point in using it, other than to purge it, and then use it on that guy. And then passive, overwhelming priority. The Norton can consume lock-on on itself to hit itself. The level 1 weapon. This one is a really, really, really niche Tumblr meme. It's a reference to a blog. You can also take Duskwing's Veil Rifle and shoot yourself with it to gain cover. You could. You really could. Again, I'm not exactly the best at build crafting, but some of the shit that you can do with the ability to hit yourself is really funny. The only, stop about it is that you have to consume first you have to use the attack in order to put lock-on yourself, and then you need to consume that lock-on. But as long as you have that lock-on on yourself, if you have your core power active, no one else can put lock-on on your allies. The License Level 1 weapon is a really, really, really niche Tumblr meme. It is a reference to a blog where people can submit weird shit they find in thrift stores. Again, really, really niche. A nonsense weapon with a nonsense name. The Bunted Skalamarang, often called the BS gun, is an anomaly wrapped in a mystery held by a maniac. It has no magwell, no firing chamber, and no barrel. Essentially just a block of plasteel full of self-referential code with no start and no end. Liturgicode via incomprehensibility. Whoever made the print code was probably glissed out of their mind. You attack this weapon like a standard Nexus-type weapon. The attack cannot be used twice in one turn, nor can it be used 2 turns in a row. This weapon requires a charge of lock-on to hit its target. Upon hit, your target gains 1d3 HP. This cannot overheal and does not restore lost structure. Upon crit, the 1d3 heal is able to overheal. The thing about SIS is that their stuff is, like, very borderline Horus. Like, their stuff is mostly tech-based, with occasional things. Because, besides their mechanical chassis, SIS is mostly known for making industrial equipment, like things you'd use on an assembly line, or to manage a large server. And since the state of the galaxy, well, state of the universe in 5016 U is a little bit shaky, Horus and SIS go to the same lows. They probably do. Okay, but that implies that Horus agents like supporting large businesses, which we all know what Horus agents like doing most, is annoying the shit out of large businesses. Or large corporations in general. Shoplift. Yeah. The Horus folks shoplift. SIS actually buys shit. The other license level 1 thing you get from the Norton is the lock scan sensor modification. It's a system. Scanning an enemy's frame chassis can grant a pilot many things, but perfect accuracy isn't one of them. SIS tries to bring that possibility closer. When you scan an entity, you may place a charge of lock-on on them, in addition to scanning's usual benefits. I really, really love the effect of its license level 2 weapon, the standard issue auto rifle. A stock standard, perfectly normal auto rifle produced en masse. Nothing is strange about it. Guaranteed. But you don't believe that, do you? Your sensors and eyes betray you. See beyond the pale, O bearer mine, and no revelation. It is a delayed projectile. Basically, whenever you fire it, once the 2-hit number is rolled, this weapon's projectile cannot be avoided by any means. The projectile's arrival is delayed by 1d6 minus 1 turns. Decrease your result by 1 for every point of difficulty you have towards rolling to hit. Increase it by 1 for every point of advantage you have towards rolling to hit. Increase damage 1 point for every turn it took for the projectile to arrive at its destination. By base, it does 1d3 energy damage. If your mech is destroyed before the projectile reaches its destination, the projectile deals explosive damage instead of its typical energy and does 10 damage at base, modified by travel time. Like, it's literally a fire and forget type weapon. Well, you don't really want to forget, because your enemy's definitely going to be reminded of 1d6 minus 1 turns. It looks like a completely normal mech auto rifle, but it just doesn't... Its bullets don't obey the laws of reality. I still need to figure out... So for the Norton, I want it to be I want it to be a shit box. Like this super blocky, horrible thing that is like... You look at it and you're like, yeah, no, that thing's gonna tip over any minute now. And it is. Stat-wise, the Norton fucking sucks, physically. On its tech abilities, it's amazing. But physically, like, it's similar to the Gorgon, the Goblin, where you punch it and it dies. But so long as you can't punch it, it's going to obliterate you. Long range, with bullets that don't obey laws. You know, now that I think about it, do any bullets obey laws? Or is it the gun and the bearer that needs to obey a law? I meant laws of reality, but, know what I mean. I'm sorry that I'm having to dunk my hand in the water. There's a bunch of plaster on my table from whenever I was sculpting the Gorgon. I still am, by the way. I haven't forgotten about that thing. It's just that I'm kind of out of it, not gonna lie. And I haven't even started drawing yet. You're good. I haven't even started drawing yet. I need to... What am I doing? I'm just going to use the brush in order to figure out, like, basic shapes. No, that's just a waste. Okay. Yeah, scroll up and read the rest of it. Like, more blurbs and stuff. I'm definitely a lot better at coming up with, like, the dialogue and text things of a mech versus, like, its actual design and, like, how it's supposed to function. No, I can't have the same head shape as Starmie, so I need a... Why is this bleeding so much? I'm not even squeezing it, I'm just kind of holding it. Just putting out far too much ink. At least more than I'd want it to. I want this thing to look like a piece of shit, but, like, there's obviously some level of thought put into it, because, like, it's a company's first attempt at a mech, and it's not exactly the best physically. I might end up making an alt frame of it that's, like, the Norton V2 that has, like, better physical stats and consumes engagement instead of lock on. So, like, it has to be up close and personal in order to attack instead of, like, whatever the fuck the Norton is doing here. Like the Sherman Mark 1 versus Mark 2, possibly, but I mean, like, actual playable ones, like the Genghis versions, not just ones that are mentioned narratively but you can't properly play. But that requires me... Actually, no, that means I can keep the version 1 as a shitpost and have the version 2 be the actual frame. You know, need to dry this off. My music should not be on shuffle. Why are you on shuffle? I have that shit set to not be on shuffle. Bruh. Oh, no, I don't. What? It just skipped a bunch of my stuff. Weird. So yeah, I can leave the version 1 as a shitpost and have the version 2 be the actual serious version. Yeah. That way they can be both narratively and mechanically different. Alright. Now I just need to... just gonna try and scratch away at some of the, I know you can't really see it properly on camera, but like this like tiny little point is scratching like these little marks into the main body that I'm going to use as like guidelines basically. Which point so this is sharper? Okay, so I need to keep the sharper point down. For safety reasons, of course. What am I talking about? What am I doing? Oh, right. Wanted to, Can I actually see that? Yeah, I kind of can. I think I'm going to leave most of the exaggerated form for the Caesar. That one is going to definitely be a lot more Armored Core-like with its like very, very sharp limbs and whatnot. Now, I realize there are a variety of different parts for an Armored Core frame, but the one that comes to mind mostly whenever I say that is the one that's like its head is very small. Like, and kind of low centered on the chest with kind of like a pointed torso to it with the guns underneath, and then large shoulder plates where it attaches its various weaponry systems. Like, that's what I picture. And I haven't played much Armored Core. The only one that I played was Ninebreaker very briefly. Oh, hi, Rev! And then... something else associated with Armored Core designs is visible mechanical details, pistons and shit. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that very visible on the Norton, because it's basically just a prototype frame, so, like, the main areas around its articulation points, like elbows, shoulders, knees, hips, etc., those are gonna be very visible. Kind of similar to what I ended up doing for Thermie's design. Like, right here, like, the articulation points are very visible. It looks so much sicker when you actually get to see it made in real time. Yeah, it's... I have a couple of speed paints up, I think, possibly, maybe. I have one for Ultra Kill, and then I have a couple for D2MC, which is just a random Minecraft server. But Digigrade looks... Oh yeah, that's Thermy. That's thermally challenged. That is the character, that's the character that I'm playing. That's Ashton. He is very small compared to Thermy, and he's keeping Thermy's head in his... Okay, this actually isn't exactly a very accurate size comparison, but I thought it would look cool. This is sideways. You guys also can't see it because it's far too high up. Howdy, hacker. Wow, there's a lot of you here. Yeah, so let me go ahead and get this in frame without getting everything all sent out of whack. This is Ashton, or at least like the back view. I was trying to figure out how I wanted his like radio pack to look in the back of his helmet. I'm really happy with the metal effect that I did on the tail. I wish I'd... Okay, the base of the tail. I wish I'd continued that further along, but that's a Gorgon. If I could turn the pages in this book. I realize I leave a lot of blank space, but that's because I set out to create shit like this. This is an even bigger difference between Thermy and Ashton, but this was whenever I was still trying to figure out what I wanted Thermy to look like. Get watched, bozo. Dude, there's fucking... Like, none of y'all ever show up for the live streams. Or, okay, that's a lie. None of y'all show up for the art streams. Mostly it's just gaming stuff that y'all show up for. It looks like a Manticore. Which one? The, what, like this version of him? Oh, yeah, the current one. I realize that now. I realize that now, definitely, especially with the shit that's going on in the back. But Thermy has 2 missile racks, one on each shoulder, the auto rifle, and in this fight, I didn't have a deck sweeper. But in the second fight against the Hive pilot, which is kind of what's illustrated here, this one... I realize I moved my mic and I sound like shit right now. This one right here is the, memes that happen on me. Oh, yeah. It's funny because the names that happen. Yeah, the meat mechs that Ashton still knows fuck all about. It's also really hard to see because, like, lighting and shit on here. I realize I can zoom in and possibly help it. Print out thermally challenge and the cascading manticore comes out of the... Well... Thermy is just an Everest, so, I mean, that could happen. It'd be really fucking unfortunate, but it could happen. I'll teach you to plug in random USBs. Look, okay, Ashton hasn't plugged any random USBs in yet. Spend a full day in uni and come back home dead, and I have a lot of homework. Good fucking luck, dude. Wait, are you saying that you're going into uni? Like, isn't it, like, fucking midnight for you? Like, you're somewhere in Europe, right? I don't know. What am I listening to? Oh, Void Chapter. Okay, that makes sense. I can't wait to have Operator hack into Ashton's terminal and grant them random access to the full Manticore license! Like, he gets a random ping in his inbox, and he's like, what's this? And it's just, like, the sender just says operator, and again, I don't think he got the name of the person who clipped into the wall behind him. It's like, okay, who the hell is this operator person? And he opens it up, and it's like this nonsense file name. He's like, huh? Prints it out, and the mech immediately starts castigating, like, all the spikes immediately start bristling and lighting up. He's like, shit, fuck, I don't know what this is, but I know it's about to explode, and he just unplugs it and tries to destroy it. Like, nope. Because Ashton had to leave the rest of his mech behind. He only managed to get the head, which is what the casket is. And finally it was just, I'm about to do something incredibly funny, that Omnif. Incredibly funny. Yes, for the observers, not for anyone in the hangar. Printing a Horus mech in general is not fun for anyone in a hangar. Also, I need to fix my camera back. There we go. Manticores are tricky to destroy. They are fairly tanky. Classic Horus prank. Alright, so I have the basic, like, design idea for the Norton down. Okay, it's funny for the Horus agents who hack your webcam and watching your reaction. Rude! Maybe when I print my Baylor and a puddle of gray Play-Doh comes out instead. The gray Play-Doh is equally as angry as the gray wash. It's just a lot less, like, moving. Like, it's a sludge versus a swarm. Alright, now I need to figure out the pose for this thing, because I also don't know if I want to keep its fingers looking like that. But don't worry, it's just as dangerous. Exactly. Also, the very sketched out one right here, this is the idea that I kind of want to apply for the Caesar, but I think I'm going to reduce the profile of the shoulders a bit. I also want there to be an exposed area along basically like the middle, like around here. Because as I was reading, sup nerd, howdy potato, I am painting mechs. And yeah, I want the exposed area to be around here on the Caesar, because I was reading through like a play-by-play of Caesar's assassination, and it said that the fatal blow was done to the like right around the left rib area. So I want that area to be more exposed. At least art-wise. Well, guys, I sure can't wait to go on my vacation to Tillsman and see the House of Sand's beautiful architecture. Surely the planet's no such thing as a planet-eating greywash season. Is that the one that's just gonna be stabbed 27 times? It is. It's a melee frame. It is a very fast, very agile melee frame, and its whole thing is its turnabout ability, because it's not just based off of the Dictator, it's also based off of the Cypher that he used. So, the turnabout Cypher, or, Caesar Cypher, but it's called the turnabout system, where basically if you miss a melee attack, you can take 1d3 heat, and try to attack the character next to you. And its core power allows you to do that basically an unlimited number of times. It just scales how much heat damage you're taking. So eventually you're going to overclock your reactor trying to stab a motherfucker. I'll get in the bed unironically, it's late. Alright, have a good one, dude. Have a good stream, talk to you later, hopefully. Yep. A stab victim to jump into a group of people. No. Oh, okay, kind of. Let me scroll down to the Caesar. Okay. SIS's strengths are in code, not kinetics. Their industrial machines are finely calibrated and adaptive learners. And by that logic, one would assume their frames to be the same. The SAIS Caesar spits in the face of that assumption. It is a highly mobile striker frame that dances across the battlefield and strikes its targets up close and personal. The frame's actuators are built to accelerate its preferred melee weapons to near sound-breaking speeds, punching holes in enemy armor and striking at the mechanical heart beneath. Its two traits: personnel space. Entities may occupy the same space as the Caesar so long as they are its size or smaller. This includes squad-type entities, even if their formation is technically larger than the Caesar. And then 1,000 knives, which I realized there was only like 60 people involved. I wrote that before, but I still find it interesting. Like, it sounds cool. The Caesar gains +1 advantage to attacking with bladed weaponry. So, axes, swords. I would technically count a chainsaw. The Caesar, the Peak 15, and the Mordred would just beat the shit out of each other the second one attacks the other, since they all deal with melee and melee attack-centric reactions. The Caesar's thing is, if it goes into, to smack someone, and it misses, it hits the person next to them. Or it can try to hit the person next to them. Do any Lancer mechs that you know of have a pile bunker? Hey, Rev, want to talk about the Core 4? You know the Manticore, right? Right. I know about the Manticore. Castigate the enemies of the Godhead walking into a room with a bomb vest, right? I know about that Manticore, right? Imagine if someone slammed a Manticore into a pile bunker. That's the Core 4. I don't think Haker plays Lancer, so I don't think he knows what a Manticore is. Yeah, Potato doesn't know either. The Manticore is a funny mech. Its main weapon is psychological warfare, because if it's a Manticore, you know it's a Manticore, because its back is covered in these massive spikes. And those spikes are constantly conducting the excess electricity produced by its reactor. It can overcharge its reactor to explode. It's the Insanity mech, yes. Yeah, you have to be inside the Manticore in order to force it to explode. So it is literally a suicide bomber. Yeah. Hold on, can you possibly Black Thumb a Manticore? There are a ton of Insanity mechs. I'm insulted you think there's just one. Technically, yes, you can. Just like you have to manually trigger and finish the charge sequence or Core 4. There is no way to escape the Castigate. You have to die for it to work. Yeah. Wait, I think I have... So that one I'm going to use for the Caesar. This one I'm going to use for the Norton. Okay. If you read the Lancer frequently asked questions... Oh no. Back. I know there are nuke mechs, arson mechs, weeb mechs, weird mechs, and nutty mechs. Okay, so nuke mechs, Harrison. Arson mechs, also Harrison. Gun mech, that just sounds like the Raleigh. Okay, arson mech is specifically the Genghis line. Nuke mech is either, yeah, the pile bunker in the core of the rulebook is Tortuga's catalytic hammer. It just doesn't nearly hit as hard as Core 4, which is why my brain always goes to Core 4 first. It's also not called a pile bunker in its name. The one with a mounted orbital cannon. Yep, that is the Harrison Barbarossa. The only size 3 mech in the base game, but I have a million LCPs installed, so it's one of 7. Modified originally from blast mining equipment, the catalytic hammer, colloquially called a pile bunker. Yep. Yeah, it's in its description, but not in its name, and that's why my brain thinks of the one that Rev made first. Alright. Oh, my back hurts, motherfucker. Damn it. Hold on. Let's move around a little bit. You guys are probably going to see the camera bounce around as I try to readjust my legs. That's why a lot of people don't know it already has one. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's a sci-fi name and it's hidden in the lore. Alright, actually need to figure out a pose for the Norton. I don't want anything particularly, like, too, like, acrobatic for the Norton's pose. So, my pen would stop bleeding so much. One of the few sources of stunned. Even if it does this. No, it's based. Okay. Potato. You're mixing NordVPN and Norton Antivirus. You're mixing the two of them. You are not the first person to make this mistake. Like, even within the last 24 hours, you are not the first person to make that mistake. But, the Norton was supposed to be named after the historical figure that was, important to the world of computing and whatnot, but the mech itself just ended up being a jab at the antivirus. That's what the version 1 at least is. I'm sleepy, I just finished my classes. No worries. The Mark 1 of the Norton is definitely going to be the shitpost version, and then the Mark 2 is going to be the one named, like, mostly based on the achievements of the historical figure. More into cyborgs and exo-like stuff than mechs. There are half-size frames that are basically just power armor. What about a mech hooked up directly to an exo or cyborg's brain? That's called decorporealization, and that is illegal because the god of technology said so. However, yes, as Rev mentions, the NHPs. They are non-human persons. Basically, alien minds that exist inside of machines. Jaegers are banned, killing technology god. I mean, there is a full subjectivity sync that is available for the SSC stuff, where you can plug your body into the machine and feel as it does, but you can't take your brain and put it into a robot specifically. Like, you can still unplug from it. Like, you just can't, like, you can't become robot. You can augment your body, but you can't specifically take your mind and put it into a robotic mind like an exo. Very lore accurate for SSC to skirt the lines of the First Contact Accords. Have any of y'all watched Rocky Horror Picture Show? I haven't, but I keep meaning to get around to it. Oh, you can physically put your brain into a robot. You absolutely cannot be immortal. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically, don't test what happens when you die. And don't put your brain in a robot. I need to figure out the pose that I want for this thing. You can live longer, but you can't live forever. Yeah. Isn't JCH technically doing that? If I remember correctly, decorporealization is actually Raw trying to prevent body swapping. So theoretically, you can put your brain in a mech, but it has to be done so you can't switch back. Yeah. But isn't there also a thing where, like, if you're cloned, like, your mind can actually be implanted over an already existing mind? Actually, I might just keep this pose for it. And just give it the funny gun in this hand. Clones and Lancers develop their own unique traits as far as I know, so they become their own people. Maybe, but if it is, it's super illegal. But it's more like, in the core rulebook, it says if your character dies and they end up getting cloned, there's a possibility that, like, their intelligence is overlaid onto another character's intelligence. So I need to come up with, like, a better depiction of the nonsense weapon, because I am going to end up changing its name. Is that it? No, because that looks like it would definitely fire from in here, so... Oh, no, I have an idea. That splits open whenever it is to fire. Yeah, flash cloning is wicked work. Yeah. I want the visual depiction of the BS gun to be, like, really weird. And, like, it sets your brain wondering, okay, but how does this thing repair you? Still, I want to play this. I'll have to make a full translation for a D&D group. Will pay $60 to translate. Yeah, I don't exactly know what translations are available for the core rulebook, and most LCPs are only written in English, or at least the ones that I know of. Yeah. Essentially a block of plasteel full of self-referential code with no start and no end. Alright. Put that here, where my pencil will start sketching. I also still need to figure out the weapons systems and shit for the Caesar. But I'm gonna need to fix that angle for y'all. There we go. It specifically says by accident or malign intent. So, yeah. So, yeah, super illegal. Yeah. The D&D group only I and my DM know English, unfortunately, and the translation is fan-made in a really small sample, which is terrible. As in, you read a small translation of the official, like, LANCER stuff? Yeah. And I'll be interested in this, so I'll try. You can probably find better versions online. Alright. I think I have a generalish draft down. Guys, I should probably like turn this and zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. I think I have a generalish draft down. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Are we live? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I had an alarm that just went off randomly, so I was just having to handle that. There we go. Alright. And I gotta slide that over a little. There we go. Tilt that up so you guys can see it properly. Quit leaning, you piece of shit. Hold on. Sorry, I have a really bad setup. It's like barely functional. It's like just constantly rejig it. There we go. Alright. There we go. You guys can see it now. So I just had to roll my shoulder. I realized it just went quiet for a very long period of time, and I apologize for that. I'm just kind of focusing on this. Something fishy about this. I can only find the exact translation everywhere. Maybe the situation is similar to SCP. I don't exactly know what's going on with SCP. What do you mean? Is it like there's only really one source for it? Or what do you mean? Oh. I don't know. I don't know, like the law side of shit. I need to dig deeper into this. Oh, you have found a mystery. Alright, and then I need to handle the details with the smaller pen. Alright, I've gotten that down. And now for the fun part where I actually can start doing watercolor. Where is my... I don't even remember where I left shit. I think I want this thing to be like a grayish. So I want to get my brushes out from in here. Do I actually? No, I just need this. I think... Be careful about my color choices because I don't want it to look like any other Foundry's frame. Alright. This color gray looks like that, so I think I actually like that color. It's like a slate-ish gray. A greenish gray. Then about the watercolors. Yes, the way that I fill my watercolor brush pens is... Hold on, let me zoom out. The way I fill these brush pens is I use this little, like, syringe, and then I just fill them like that. So, you know, that's... They run out of water, like, surprisingly easy if you do a heavy coat. So, I tend to usually fill them almost to the top. I would take my headset off and let you guys listen to what I'm listening to, but I'm pretty sure it's copyright. What is this? Is this a Digferos? Yes. Yep, take the blue off this brush first. hold on a second. What's going on in chat? Let me scroll down. So, a big company community is smaller. What? Oh, as in like the translation's done by someone's sketch? Interesting. What does this color look like compared to that? Huh. Alright. So I need the darker gray now. I haven't taken out any of the translations. The other tabletop games they're translated have their version only. Oh! Huh. Weird. That's hella sus. with a touch. Hi. Hello. I don't know how well you guys can actually see it, but ow, my leg. I'm okay. This just stuff works here. Your connections, papers. Damn. This is great. Thank you. I need a paper towel so I can just get all the paint away from the false gun. I feel like this mech is rusty-ish. I'm trying to make it look like kind of like a dull slate blue gray for most of the armor plating. It looks glossy because that's the paint that's still wet. Like if I were to take all this away, that looks a lot better actually. Also, I love that color blue. Like oxidized copper. Yeah, that could be it. Oh, maybe since this is like the first version and isn't often seen anymore, So, well, it's usually not seen in preference of its older or its newer version, the Mark II. So, could be. You're right, that's what it was reminding me of. Yeah. And I'm going to lean into that because I like that idea. The brush left behind a lot of, like, detritus. Not the brush, the marker left behind a lot of detritus, so I'm kind of, like, trying to pull that away as I'm working. And then, by that logic, I should probably put rust on the metal bits. God, you think is fair. Sorry. Make the Mark II more of a warm copper color to lean into the material. Yeah. Also, I'm leaving the colors on the BS gun, like, this kind of faded, because, like, I want it to look like it's not properly real. Like, the colors from the environment are bleeding into it, almost. It's going to make digitizing this a pain in the ass. But it'll look really good in the end. I don't know why I paused that long. It got reminds me of how they do the collisional phasing in and out of the intangible. Yeah, that could definitely be it. I'm gonna need to do the pen over again on this arm because of how much it's bleeding, but I think for the paint, I don't want to overdo it, so I think that's... Yeah. Norton Mark 1 done. Yeah, redo some of the lines over here. And if I showed this shit to me from 3 years ago, I'd probably have a moment be like, how in the hell are you drawing mech shit? I never draw mech shit. And the answer is Ultra Kill. The answer is gay robots. The ink earlier reminded me, we'll just go up a mark. The ink that I did for the posing stuff was just like this. You can kind of, hold on, let me fold it so that way it's easier to see side by side. Like, the ink art that I did earlier was mostly just so I could, mostly just so I could figure out like what I wanted it to look like at base. And then from there, I just transfer that into its actual form. That's the exact way that I did the drawing for Thermi, which was up there that I showed you guys last time. Or painting before. Well, I have been streaming for a little bit under a half hour, I believe. No, a little bit close to 2 hours. Just come up with something more interesting. Everything I come up with is freaky spider, musician with airbending powers. What do you mean? For LANCER? What? I don't think there's airbending in LANCER, but that's an interesting concept. Oh, for art. Yeah. Honestly, like, just doing dumb shit with your tools is probably the best way that you can learn to draw. Like, once you learn what your tools are able to do, then you can start bending those rules and doing whatever the fuck you want with them. Right. And then this is the part that always scares me, is whenever I have to go on to shading. No, just art. You mean like coming up with character concepts? Because the tip stays the same. Like, just fuck around and find out. Like, most of my characters come to me with, like, they just happen. Like, I'll just be lying down and my brain will just have this, like, horrific vision of something. Like, for Ashton, he was originally, conceived of, well, okay, let me correct myself. The first draft of Ashton was from a Halo OC art challenge that Potato hosted in, the Vibe Corner, which is my Discord. And the version of him that ended up being in Lancer was, basically, I wanted a second version. Well, I needed a Lancer character, right? Because I was gonna do, I was gonna try out the system, right? So, I was gonna see if I could make a character. So, since I was new with the system, I wanted a character that was also somewhat new with how shit worked. This might come from dreams that I remember, or just a joke that went too far. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like, just a wretched vision that I have that I bring into reality. What if Ken Ashcorp but Lancer? I really should have done this diluting on a separate page. That way, whatever's underneath doesn't get ruined. But I could just put my sketch layer down here as like a blanket. Do I have ink on my arm? Yeah, I do. Damn it. I have 23 songs to turn into mechs. Like all the different song names is like different schematics and stuff that she tests. Is that the character's vibe again? I'm trying to remember everyone's like character sticks. Expanded into a few other song artists, so there's more variety. Most of them are Ken songs. 8 down right now, the others are at least planned. This brush that I'm using, I find it funny that I'm using it for painting a mech. It's technically for painting mechs, it's just 3D ones, not 2D ones. I got this at a like a hobby model store. Where like half the store was Gundam kits. And I was in VC with my girlfriend, and there was this massive area dedicated to train building, and my girlfriend loves trains. And I was talking like, you know, if you visit me, I'll get one of these kits, and we'll build a train together. But I got these brushes from that store because I needed a really fine brush, and these were like super cheap. I think it was like $6 for like 5 of them. And like I really love model kits, but the problem is that like I lose track of the pieces so easily. Like Legos are easy because they're color coded and whatnot, but like whenever it comes to model kits, I struggle because I don't exactly have the dexterity to like fit things together that well. definitely a lot better with sculpting and like wire working than I am model making. No, it's not a good joke. That's... Is chat showing up on stream? No, okay. Let's see. It's not good. Move on. Yeah, wash that down. Up. Up. Moving on. Yeah, bit too far. Yeah, that reached me. Alright, I think I'm basically done here. I think I want maybe a little bit of like purple on the eyes, possibly. This is gonna make or break it. There we go. Oh, nope, I literally just removed the purple. There we go. To pay. You already sold your soul. Spice with me. Yes, no more. All right. Need to put a little bit of shading here. Nice. Okay, I need to absorb this. So my finger keeps touching that, and I'm afraid it's gonna, like, spill. Alright, yeah, I'm close to 2 hours, and my phone's about to die. So, I think I'm gonna cut stream in just a moment once I'm done with this. And then this is going to be the official art of the Norton Mark 1. I'm gonna end up renaming it to be that in the LCP. But yeah, I think tomorrow I might possibly paint the Caesar. But yeah, we have this. I'm definitely going to want to exaggerate the proportions more in the next one, because this just looks like a person in power armor. When it's supposed to be a size 2 mech with like, over-calibrated sensors and whatnot. But that is a problem for future Tired if he ever decides to redraw this thing. Which, probably not. Just gonna go and vitalize with a couple bits of color across some areas. Also, probably isn't good how asymmetrical the legs are, like, lengthwise, but it's okay. We'll figure it out eventually. But yeah, that is gonna be it. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys next episode, whenever that happens to be. Whatever that happens to be. I'm glad y'all showed up. I'm probably just gonna delete all the links to this, that I posted outside of, like, a promotional channel, because I feel bad spamming shit. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all next time.